about the time. You gotta love Mercury retrograde,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm sorry, I value your time. And now that we're here, I would like to get started. Everyone, okay. I'm sorry, I represented the time today. I thought it was 3 o'clock. My time is 3 o'clock her time, and now we're very late. So I want to get started, but this is the wonderful Elizabeth of the More Intuitive Me channel. And she is a wonderful tarot reader and many other things. And I want to ask her about all those things. So thank you so much. And Trina is here with us. Trina is sticking in with us. So hello, hello,
Awesome.
hello. Okay. So I had my list of questions. I at least printed it out on time. So, all right. Well, first and foremost, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you? I was going to say, I invite you to take a deep breath.
I will take a breath. My goodness. Yes. I can't believe this is happening in front of Elizabeth, but I'm here. I am in my heart center. Okay. All right.
it was just it's fine. It's all good.
It's a it's a thing. Okay.
Because
All
of
right.
that, it allowed me to have, 10 minutes to like run to the restroom and get a drink and refill water and so everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason. All right. And this is release control and surrender to the moment.
Yeah,
Okay. In
absolutely.
this moment, uh, how do I start? Well, you know what? My first question was how many decks do you have? I don't want to start there.
Okay.
Tell me about what your tarot means to you. What does it
Oh,
mean? Because, I mean, that has to be a journey, right? I figure, you go from not knowing anything to now you're reading for other people. It's obviously a very embedded part of your life, and it's an important part of your life. What does it
hmm
mean for you to be a tarot reader?
I well, I never thought that I would be here today like this. So it was definitely unexpected. A lot of people uh, grew up around tarot or had early exposure to tarot. That wasn't me. I didn't stumble into it until much later in life. And once I had it, I felt uncomfortable, insecure, and I would pull a card, I would need to rely on the guidebook, and uh, never did I imagine that I would be comfortable to just start pulling cards and reading on the spot for other people. Like I would pull cards, sometimes I would pull cards and lay them out, and then they would be out for a day, sometimes two, while like I figured out like what was the message even, meant to be for me. So it was a journey. It was a journey. So everything, I mean, it's like I said, everything happens for a reason. I always wish that it had come into my life earlier, but I understand that it came when it needed to come.
When did it come into your life?
It was the tail end of 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, so right around COVID time, I was exploring with other things during my downtime. So, like meditation, and then I started tinkering with yoga. And from there, there were a few like people that I listened to podcasts and different things. And I remember there was a young lady that was working on an oracle deck. And so I would listen to her and then, it's like a progression. Like one thing leads to another. Next thing you know, I'm thinking about it. I don't know anything about it. Like, oh, I don't know. I'm going back and forth. And yeah, I finally did it and I gifted myself the deck for Christmas that year.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. And it's addictive, isn't it? Once you start.
Well, in the
I don't know, for me it
beginning,
is.
yes, like in the beginning, I was very like um nervous about it. I don't know, like scared by it, like intrigued, but I don't know. It was like push and pull for a long time with me in
Well,
the deck.
because scared by it because there were a lot of like
Just
misconceptions that you had.
yes, like like how I grew up and how I was programmed, I would say, as a child to think of certain things and so I had certain feelings about it, but I was still very curious and wanted to learn more. And so I tried to limit, like put boundaries around, like, okay, you're only gonna pull one card a week, and then you'll study that card and
Mhm.
then learn. And I did that for like 3 months.
Mhm.
And I came to the realization that if I do this, it's gonna take forever to learn. Like I'm never gonna learn it. So then I just made the decision to do it more regularly. And I didn't know how to immerse myself into that world. And I remembered YouTube and I was like, I'm gonna see if by any chance there's anything there. And of course there was
Of
like
course, of course. There's everything here.
tons of content on how to do this and how to do that and classes and courses and then I would take all these notes and then realize, well, hold on, this channel said this, but this other channel came back with something else and so it was you know it was interesting when you start like comparing all of the bits and pieces and then realizing that a big part of this is your own intuition and what you felt was the meaning of the card because it was coming from a lived experience and different, you could place the same card in front of 100 different readers and you would have 100 different interpretations. It's just like the Bible, like
Yeah.
you create this Bible, and then depending on what group reads it, they interpret it their way. No, it was meant, that's not what it meant. It meant this. And there's like all kinds of,
Did you
thought
also
processes.
suffer? Did you also suffer and when you were learning during that process? Because I know when I was learning the process, I was really concerned about getting it right. And so, oh, what does this mean? This means this, because I had this idea like, no, two of swords means decision, and only it,
Hmm.
it means that. And I was very locked in. But how do you know? Like, how did you flow in? How did you get to the space where you allow your intuition to take over and guide
That
how you're
happened.
interpreting?
Yeah, that happened for me when I started, and I don't know why I did this, but at one point I started recording my readings.
Hmm.
Because prior to then, I would pull cards, I would get my journal, then I would sit and I would just write whatever came to me. That's how I
Hmm.
did every single one of my readings. And so I, at some point, decided I was going to record a reading one day. And I realized that nothing was coming to mind, like a keyword here, a keyword there. And it didn't feel like enough to, um, to put a story together. So I was like, whoa, this is awful. This is awful. So then, as I started doing that, I started realizing that that was adding value to my practice. So then I started like this challenge
Love
where
it.
I would pull the card out and I would say as much as I could about the one card for 30 seconds or 60 seconds and see. And then I was like, well, I'm not going to let all of these go to waste. Some of them are pretty good. So I started making shorts out of those. And then, I just kind of progressed from there. Eventually, I started noticing myself that I was coming up with a lot more things faster now than back then. and it just kind of progressed from there. So
I love
filming
that.
the reading and going back and listening, that transformed how I read.
I love that. I
Hmm.
also love how making the videos, the interactive process helped you learn faster and helped you learn because that was the experience for me as well. That
Hmm.
you really have to put yourself into it. You have to. You can't study it and put it away.
Hmm.
You have to give yourself to it. So I love that. How did you get
Yeah.
to the space though where you were ready to read for other people?
I did not get to that space. I was put in that space.
Uh-oh.
I was placed there. Um, and that was because I when I created my channel, I knew like I am a pre-recorded person. Like I like to pre-record content. That's how I experienced tarot. My tarot learning journey was through pre-recorded content, and so that's what I enjoyed doing. And I think I went live one day, and I don't even know, like I don't even know how, like I didn't know how to do it. I just like figured it out. I think I did it on my laptop or something, and I went live and there was a storm coming and we were preparing for the storm, and I was a nervous wreck. So I was like, I'll go live. And I hit the button, and then like somebody came in and they chat with me for a while, and that's kind of how it started. I met people and they were like, "Oh wow, I can't believe you have all these videos. I've never, seen you before, da da da." And they started inviting me to their read with me, and I was, "Oh, I would love to." Of course, you get an invitation, you're like, "Oh, I would love to." In your head, you think someday, and they're like, "Okay,
Mm-hmm.
how about tomorrow?"
Right,
and,
right.
and I was just like, "Oh, tomorrow." So that is how I actually started. And at the beginning, I felt like, oh God, these readings are just not good. Um, because we tend to be very self-critical, right?
Right.
But the more that I did it, the more practical experience I was getting. So doing it just helped me. It just helped me,
Learning by
and
doing,
it
yes.
wasn't just helping me help other people, but me help myself, and me help my connection with my cards, and me help my intuition. So there were so many things, like it was helping me in so many different ways. So that was a big step. So, I went back and forth for a long time on the channel because I was tied between these two ideas. Like I want to pre-record and produce the content. I don't want to have to go live all the time. Sometimes it's okay, but like by nature, I'm an introvert, so it takes a lot of energy out of me to do the live stream,
I understand. I
although I
understand.
understand like the value from it, and that people look forward to it and over time have come to enjoy like the space and the other people that come and hang out, and it's become uh like a second home almost. So now it's hard because I don't want to give that up, right? But I don't want that to be the entirety of my channel either. So I still go back and forth.
So what do you want for your channel?
I have been enjoying, like I have always enjoyed the pre-recorded. I've never like fancied myself to be a teacher, although a lot of people think that I have a knack for it, but I never wanted to be a teacher. I just wanted to share my experiences. I always just kind of wanted to create a sense of community. I remember when I was first learning, and it felt like I would, and this is very human, right? Like I would compare myself to how other people read and then felt like, okay, well, clearly I'm not that kind of reader. I'm not a good enough reader. I'm not, all these things. But really, I just had a different style. And so for the longest time, I felt like I just want to show my reading style, for other people that could be learning and looking for ways, okay, how do I actually read the cards? Like I don't uh deck flip throughs and and VRs and all those things, they're a lot of fun, but like I want to know how to use my cards on a regular day to day. I don't want to just be a collector of cards. So that for me is very important. And I think like in almost every pre-recorded video, I include some kind of reading of some sort. And I like that because my
That's what I
style
love
is
about your videos. I love that.
mhm,
I love that your videos, they're very well presented. You have like a vision. You start out, you show us the cards, and then you go through, you compare decks, and then you just talk a little bit about what something might mean. And I like there's a lot of passive learning that I do from watching your videos. And
mm,
that's kind of what I was like, wow, I'm learning so much from Elizabeth and just and also just feeling like I'm sharing in the experience of, like it's not just, oh, this is what these cards mean. It's like I'm experiencing the cards with you. And I thought that is fascinating. That's a gift. And it's not very common that you come across it with readers. So
mhm.
I
Yeah.
really want to thank you for that, for the way that you present things. I mean, I can tell you're a very conscientious person and like you like things laid out and planned a certain way that really comes through to wonderful effect. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah. I always say this, like, I'm not everybody's reader, right? Like,
Hmm.
but I know that there's other people that are like me and that appreciate that, that reading style. Like, I'm never gonna be like very theatrical like in, in my reading style or anything like that, but I do enjoy it. I think there's value in it. There's a lot of questions that I take that a lot of tarot readers don't want to take because it
Such
crosses
as
like a boundary line, like relationship questions. Does so and so like me? Are they thinking about me? Do they want to get back with me? Like things like that, right? Like it crosses a little bit of a line, but I still try to take as many questions. Some people avoid, like they don't want to do health readings or legal readings, and I understand that, but I always try to find a way to do the reading in a way that I feel comfortable, but I still give them something that helps them walk away with not just maybe a new perspective, but maybe like some action items, things that they could do on
I
their
love
end.
that.
Hmm.
I love that. I'm gonna start doing that. That everything you just said. Um, but let me look at my questions here. So you obviously didn't just start being this orderly and conscientious. I could tell this is a lifestyle practice for you. And there's other aspects that you do, not just tarot, that you incorporate into your spirituality. What other practices do you have other than tarot or that complement your tarot?
I think the strongest part of my practice is my journaling practice, and that's something that I do every single day. And depending on what I happen to be going through, this could be several times a day. And I think it's very important. I have always been an on and off journaler, but oh my God, no, hold on. Uh, it's been over a year where I made the decision that I was gonna journal daily, no matter what.
Hmm.
And that's what I'm doing, and I absolutely love it. And there's truth to the whole idea, like sometimes you sit down with your book and you think like, well, I don't know what to say. There's nothing to say. I just woke up. But there is, like, there's always something to say. So I
Always.
might then, if I don't know what to say, then I get my book. I'm like, I don't know what to say. I just start like that. I don't know what to say. There's nothing really happens. But then, like, before you know it, stream of consciousness takes over. And then you realize, Like that's how I get to my questions naturally. Cause I don't like I do have a daily card pull practice, but it's mostly so that I could get to know a deck. So I might pull a card. Sometimes I have a question, sometimes I don't. I just pull and then I write my reflections on what I've observed, the symbols, if there's something different, if I feel a different energy, if I have a situation going on that resonates with the card, I might talk about that. But a lot of times I don't have a question and I might just start writing and then naturally come to a question that I'm like, whoa, hold on a second. Why did I do that? Why did I do that thing? And then I get the deck and I start from there. So to me, that's the fastest way that I connect with my higher self and my intuition.
I love that. I was just about to ask, it's like, where do you think that comes from? Like when we sit in that meditation, what do you think it is that comes to us? Because I
Mm,
believe it's our higher selves that come into us
yes.
and are like guiding us through the
Mm-hmm.
process that
Yeah,
we navigate. So I love that.
I agree.
I need to journal more. I used to journal quite often, and it does help. It does center. I mean, it's just so useful. Journal people, that's my point here. All right. So, what other questions did I have? Well, I can ask how many decks do you have?
I have, I don't know. I have a list, but my list, like, of course, I have an Excel spreadsheet, of course.
Of course you do, Elizabeth. Of
I
course you
have an
do.
Excel spreadsheet, and what I did was I documented like the deck when I purchased it, and now I'm in the process of adding like what I paid for the deck at the time. But then once I
Oh my
released the
God.
deck,
I lo-
I grade it out. Like I released the deck, I grade it out. So I have like decks. I have a full list of every deck I've owned.
and you're not a
Uh,
Virgo. You're not a
no,
Virgo. You're not a
mm-mm,
Virgo. Like
no. I like
struggle.
details.
I
I
struggle
feel like
with
that's my
that.
Gemini. That's my Gemini in me. Like I like those little details and I like to see things. I'm a list person. I like lists. I like to check things off the list. Like so I like tracking things. Uh so yeah, I don't know, it speaks to me. That speaks to me. But
That's
yeah, I
wonderful.
have probably under 200.
Under 200?
Yeah, that's between like my tarot and my oracle. Probably about that.
And of those 200, if you if there was a fire, a flood, something, you can only take one. Which one is that and why?
It would be if I was gonna be choosy, it would be Tarot of Mystical Moments because that is
Mhm.
my soul deck. Uh, and I find it to be an easy reader. I find it to help me connect to my intuition in a way that other decks do not. I find that it challenges my way of thinking. If you haven't gathered, I have like very structured, like minds, like this is natural, this is not natural, and like those colors don't match, and that shape head shouldn't be on top of a chair, it should be a body, and so different things
Well,
like
now I
that.
feel attacked.
So that particular deck helped me to challenge my view of, well, who says it has to
Yes.
be natural and
Yes.
who defined what is natural and what is normal
Wonderful.
versus not normal. So that deck helps me see things
Oh,
differently. So for that reason, I would choose that deck. But I'm a firm believer that you could pick one deck and read with that deck for the entirety of your life and it would be fine. It would work with every reading because I feel like I get great
I feel that
readings.
too.
Yes, from every single deck. I read with the RWS today, and it's a deck that I hardly ever use.
I
But
saw that. I was like
mhm,
RWS and Oracle the Radiant Sun.
yeah, Those two
and
are a match. They look good
they
together.
are, and I love it. I love, like, the mixing and matching. That's what another thing that I was like, "Oh, yes, you mix and match, because I do that naturally with my Uno. I'm like, I match Uno to everything, and it really just reveals so much more. But enough about me. Okay, because I have Elizabeth here, and Elizabeth is giving her
Oh,
time.
we
I'm
could
so
talk
excited
about
still.
both. We could talk about both.
I am so excited that you're here still. Okay. So, and I mean, I'll come back to this because I would like to get to know you a little bit better. You are a
Okay.
fellow Gen Xer, and so where did you grow up? What was your 80s like? What were your 80s? Because Gen X, that was
I
our we're 80s, man.
mhm. I grew up in Jersey. I grew up in the hood. I grew up in the hood. So, yeah, I grew up a certain kind of way. It's hard to describe. It's hard to describe. I always tell people like, okay, have you ever seen, this is an old movie, Lean on Me
Yes,
with the principal
the principal.
that
Yep.
locks the kids in the school, but the whole point was to keep the drug dealers out. That's my
That was your
hometown.
school.
That's
That
my
was your
hometown.
school. Oh my
I was
goodness.
supposed to go to that school, and some saving grace, they opened an arts high school the same year that I was meant to
Oh,
start. So
I
I was
love it.
able, the first year, they waived auditions, and I was able to get into the art school because if not, I would have been at that school during that time that that film was
Oh my
made.
goodness, I love that. I love
Hmm.
that. So tell
Yeah.
me about the art school. How did you tell me about that?
I went to the art school and obviously like I don't know anything. I had no arts. I had no arts. I was just, this inner city kid that, I was just trying to figure out the best way to do anything at all. I remember in elementary school we had like I was interested in music, but we couldn't afford it. So uh I think there's probably kids now that have like their own instruments, but back then, like there was like a rental program and you could rent an instrument if you wanted to learn, but we couldn't afford that, so I didn't do that. And they offered home economics and wood shop, and I was a wood shop person. I loved the wood shop. I did learn how to use like the sewing machine, and uh, I still have one to this day, but I was more fascinated with that, and I loved my art class. So I was like, well, I have to go to the art school because I love art class. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. In fact, when I went to the art school, I did not even take art. I took dance, and uh, I took drama. I took both of those. Now, I was not allowed to stay in both for the whole time. I could do that for first and second year, but by third year, I needed to focus. So I focused on drama, and I graduated, and that was my major, theater arts.
That's Oh my goodness, that's wonderful. I did not
So
know that.
because of that experience, I was able to meet a lot of people that I would not have met in my natural life because it was a school in the inner city. They brought a lot of people, a lot of celebrities to come and give inspirational talks, to the students and all kinds of things. So I met a lot of people. We had the experience of meeting Gregory Hines.
Yes, yes, tell me.
We met Dizzy Gillespie. We met Rosa Parks. Our school was named after Rosa Parks. So
Oh,
she came to our school. We met her. So yeah,
what
it
year was
was,
that?
well, that was in the late 80s.
Wow.
Hmm. Yeah.
My goodness. Tell me, please tell. Rosa
I think in
Parks.
those
Oh,
days, like you don't think, you're just like, oh, okay, cool.
Right,
It's just
right.
like,
I know.
and I was like, oh, okay,
Youth
cool.
is wasted on the young, isn't it? Because, like,
It
yeah,
is because you don't realize that in that moment, like we all knew who Rosa Parks was, of course.
mm-hmm.
And meeting her was interesting. And it's just this, petite little figure walking across the stage, and
Oh my
you know,
goodness.
that's what I remember with Dizzy Gillespie. I remember like the
His
cheeks.
cheeks. Yes.
Yes, because of course people asked for him to demonstrate, that. So we got to see that. And then with Gregory Hines, I remembered that I was like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? And then I went home and I watched the movie like with him and Barishnikov. The
Yes.
that
Yes.
yes, and I was like, oh snap, that's the guy that came to our school. Like I can't believe it.
I love it.
Like
I
he's
love it.
he's big time. But you don't recognize that until after the fact. Like at the time, it was like, oh, who is this guy? Why is he here? What's
How
his claim to fame?
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What a delight. What a delight. Oh my
Hmm.
goodness. So, my goodness. I'm sorry. I'm geeking out just a bit because I think that's amazing. You went to an art school. You majored in drama, basically. You specialized in drama. What did
Hmm.
you do? So you've done plays and
Yeah.
whatnot. So
Yeah.
what was your what was your play? What roles did you do? Like, what's your wheelhouse?
Uh, we did plays. There were a lot of like challenges at our school. I think with resources and I think political things, like behind the scene things. Like we would get the go ahead to produce a play and then all of a sudden get shut down and told we're not able to, and you knew that there were things going on behind the scenes but you don't understand those things as as kids. But I remember one of the first plays, of course we did all the holiday classics. I remember uh, oh my gosh, I can't believe the name escapes me. Scrooge. I remember
Scrooge.
doing, yes, I remember doing that. And the first play that I auditioned for and got a part for was actually a singing part, which was scary
Ooh.
because I did not have a singing voice. So I had to work with a voice coach. And it was The Me Nobody Knows. And sadly, that one
Oh,
did not make it to we did not make it. It got canceled, and that was, very, very sad. So I remember that we did do the Pink Panther Returns, I think. And that one, if you remember that, that has like multiple characters. So I was able to play, I think three. I played three different characters. I just remember like one. I still have like the books, right? Like the scripts.
hmm.
I still have all the scripts, but I remember playing the German girl, like with the poison pretzel. I remember playing that part. And then the final year, we of course, because if you grew up in the US, you probably watched the show Fame. And
Yes.
that was like the number one question that we always got, like, oh, do you guys dance on the lunch tables? Like, no, fool,
Do you
like that's
dance
a
on the cars?
movie. Yeah, it's like, no, we don't do that. But we got to do that play, or show Fame, because it was a musical. And I played the teacher.
You
I
played the
played
teacher.
the
The
teacher,
dance teacher?
Leroy's
Oh,
teacher,
no.
the English teacher. Yes.
Oh, oh, yes, 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 yes,
Yes.
yes.
So, yes, I played that role, and it was a great experience. And I feel like that was the first time I got the chance to step outside of who I was as a person and pretend to be somebody else, which at the time I welcomed.
I I love it. I love it. Yeah,
Hmm.
it allows you to step outside of yourself and Okay, I've got to remember to breathe for a second. I'm going to do some breathing again because I'm a little overstimulated here. I wasn't expecting to hear all these things, Elizabeth, and this is just it's just a lot. Okay. So you were an you you were an actor. So what happened after art school in terms of your arts and
uh,
that trajectory?
yeah, my parents said, "You get yourself a real career. None of this acting nonsense. Uh, Otherwise, we're not gonna pay for diddly squat." And I was like, okay. In the end, that's not how it worked. I ended up having to pay my own way, so I probably should have just done my own thing. I, I tried to do like the reasonable thing, and
Hmm.
uh, I went to school, and college was a rude awakening for me, because I had like reverse culture shock, if you can believe this.
How so?
Because when I went to school, like just thinking about where I grew up, well, everybody was black or Hispanic. Like that was there were no other races, only the teachers, and it seemed to me like they
Hmm.
imported them from someplace else. So everybody was black or Spanish. So then when I got to college, like it was like a sea of white people, and I was just
Mm.
like, where'd all these white people come from? Like I was just completely blown away. Like there was nobody of color. And then I realized, like, stepping outside of your world is when you realize, like, oh, that was tough. That was really tough for me. That was really tough for me. Um, so yeah, I went to college, and I did not stay in New Jersey much longer after that because I got an internship that brought me to Florida. And when I got here, I was like, why, I'm not going back. I'm not going back. It's Florida. All the walls are white and the sky is blue. Like back home, the sky was always gray and overcast and smoggish, and all the walls had like paneling. Paneling. And so when I got here and I was like, what? There's white walls and white ceilings? Like, oh my God. Like it just felt so, just that energetically, it just felt so light and fresh, and like there was possibilities. I remember being obsessed with the movie Ferris Bueller. And the scene where he steps outside and he's imagining like what the day could bring, and they show those blue skies, and I just thought it was something from the movies. I just thought like, wow, so to come here and be like, oh, it's like that all the time here. I was like, I cannot leave, so I just stayed here.
That's
I just stayed
beautiful.
here.
That's beautiful.
Mhm.
Yes, like yeah, you see something that aligns with what your spirit has been longing for, you have to go
Mhm.
to it. All right. So, here's one. Where do you go to get your own readings?
For my own readings, I there is one reading that I get every year, and it is a reading for it's kind of like a forecast for the whole year. And it is my solar return, my astrology reading. I do that every year, and I literally keep it like right here, and it's broken down, and this is what I fall back to. And my astrologist like does an amazing job. She gives me like my themes of the year, and she breaks it down: mental and physical health, agency and strength, home and family, finances, personal life, relationships, work, career. She likes to include the lots, so she gives me lot of fortune, spirit, ethical practice, nemesis, victory, and then she gives me a calendar. like any days that are going to be auspicious, any days that could be challenging for me. Like, for example, right now, my Mars is in Gemini, so that is a difficult period for me. So that she lets me know, she gives me the breakdown so I can prepare in advance, right? Um, so yeah, this is I fall back on this. She even this year she even included like Chinese astrology. She's awesome, and yeah, this is like the one reading that I feel like I need to have done, like my one professional reading that I do every single year.
Love it. And so, and you check it every day, and you just like, okay, what
I
kind of
don't
day am I
check
going
it
to have
every
today?
day, but like if something happens that is over the top or out of the norm, I'll be like, hold on a second, what's happening here? And I'll go back
Yeah,
and I'll look and I'm like, oh, that's what's happening. And it's
that's what's
always,
happening.
yes, it always makes sense. It always resonates. I feel like anything that she has predicted for me, like 90% of the time, it comes true. So, you know, that's one reading that I love to have. Now, do I visit like other readers' channels? Yes. I don't often let other people read for me, right? So if I go to a channel and people are doing readings, I will hardly ever say, sure, read for me. I have let Laura B. I have let
Of
Laura
course, Laura
B.
B.
I have let Laura
She's in a
B.
class by herself, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
So
Everybody
I've
get a
let
reading from
her,
Laura B.
yeah, I've
Seriously.
let her read for me. And then sometimes I visit spaces where they're doing like um, like a general reading, right? Or collective reading that I feel is speaking straight to my soul. So I may reach out to those people and let them know how powerful their reading was, or how it impacted me, or how much it resonated. Um, I do follow Lucia quite a bit. I find her readings, especially the Gemini and Pisces readings, to hit the mark. So yeah, I do have some people that I follow, but I feel like a lot of people where sometimes you listen to somebody else's reading and there's a little nugget in there for you, a takeaway, right, if you will. So I agree with that.
It's wonderful. Yes. And Lucia, everybody check out Lucia, by the way, too, because she's
Hmm.
awesome. And I hope to talk to her as well. But uh,
Yeah.
I think that's like astrology. I had a question. Like, so were you, did you know about astrology before you knew about tarot? And
Yes.
how have they
Yes.
combined for you? Because I'm just now learning about astrology. I never took it seriously, but I've started to. The more I've learned about tarot, the more, and then I've started listening to astrologers, and I'm like, oh, you know what? That makes sense. So
Hmm.
I'm interested in how that dovetails for you.
I have always been fascinated by astrology, and I grew up with it, like the horoscopes in the paper, but also on Spanish language TV, there was a man that came and he always did like the horoscope.
Mm.
And I watched him like every Saturday, Walter Mercado. Oh my
I
God, I
knew
was
I knew you were going to say
obsessed
that.
with
I said
him.
it's
Yeah.
Walter. Hola,
Walter.
Walter.
Walter Mercado. He was very mystical, and every like, yeah, tell me. I was just obsessed. So I always thought it was fascinating. I thought I did a lot of oh my gosh, look, we mentioned Lucia and
Lucia,
she just came in.
Lucia, we're talking about you. I'm going to make her blue while we're talking about.
Okay,
Okay.
that sounds good. Yeah.
Where are you, Lucia? Add her. Why are you not blue, Lucia? There you go. But yes, yes, yes. Yeah, the
Yes.
astrology. Do you like, how does tarot fit into your astrology and vice versa?
Well, when it comes to astrology, I studied a lot about Aries because that was my sign. It wasn't until I started getting astrology readings that I started to understand that there was such a thing as, your rising sign and your sun sign and your moon sign. And I was like, whoa. And then like after that, I I was like, that made everything come together. Then I understood because I was just like, this makes because this whole time, like I studied Aries and there were so many things that resonated and other things that I was like, that's not how I am. That doesn't make sense. So when I understood that there was all these different like aspects or components of it, then it started to make sense for me. Uh, so I would say that I was really good at understanding the energy of Aries, but I had to work to learn the other ones. And that's just a very slow progression. I started with trying keywords for each of the signs and each of the planets. And I still don't know all of them, but I'm working on that. I have like a couple of decks, and right now I'm studying the Thoth. And in the Thoth, astrology is a huge part of that. So I
Huge
just
part.
incorporate it. I just incorporate it into my studies. I think with tarot, with all these things, there's always spiritual homework to do. And that's probably my favorite thing. I think I will always be a forever student of tarot and of all of these things that I find really fascinating.
That's absolutely true. You're always going to be learning. There's always so much unfolding. So,
hmm
absolutely. So, is there anybody you recommend astrology wise, like um, that you would say, check this
With
person out if you want to learn? If you're learning, it's people like me and his lecture.
yeah, so with astrology, I rely on textbooks, on reference books. So I don't know that I have like a lot of like channels that I follow specifically for astrology beside the person that I stumbled across one day that has become my astrologist, my astrologer, and I just like connected to her for as long as she'll have me. So I don't have anyone that I could like recommend, like, oh, this person's great at this. But I love books and I like to have references, and that's kind of what I use in my studies.
So orderly and conscientious. I love that. I absolutely love that about you. That is, oh, sorry, my cat son is he's turned a corner. Go on, go on, go on. It's like, enough. This is not about me. That's okay. Oh my goodness, this is so delightful. I just want to stop. This is so delightful. I'm learning so much, and I am like, I'm so happy right now. I know I come across weird about it, but it really is. It's okay. What was your most recent channel milestone?
Channel milestone.
And
Mm,
what's your next one that you're shooting for?
My recent channel milestone, my most recent one was I was recently fully monetized on the channel. So that's new. And in terms of what I would like to see, I don't know that I have like big plans except a lot of continuation of what I'm currently doing and finding a different way to balance live streams versus pre-recorded content. So I'm testing different things. I'm gonna be doing my lives bi-weekly instead of weekly, and my hope is that that will create a little bit more space for me to
More
do other
space
things
for you,
like
yes.
this, like maybe collaborations with other channels or interviews or all kinds of I've done all kinds of things with other people. Like I've even though I'm like I don't consider myself an artist, I've even done like art like
How can
on other people's channels.
hold on. First of all, hold up. Hold up. You don't consider yourself an artist, but everything about you screams art, screams
I know that's
intention,
weird.
putting yourself into what you do and making the things around you express who you are. That is art, baby. How can
Yes,
you say you're not an artist?
there's a lot of things that I do that they're considered art. I consider them art. I consider them artistic. I consider them like creative outlets. That's true. But I wouldn't consider myself like an artist, like someone who paints or draws or sketches or watercolors. I do all those things in my own,
Can I see?
crude way. Let me see. Sometimes I fiddle around like in my notebooks and let me see if I find something. I like to sometimes take inspiration from tarot cards. So this was a card that I pulled in a deck
Oh, I love it. I love
and I
it.
drew it in
Oh
my
my,
in my journal. And this is like I don't remember if this was watercolor or color pencils. Um, I'm trying to see. Sometimes there's one thing on the card that makes me want to, do things. Sometimes it's just fountain pen ink where I'm just playing with ink swatches.
I love that.
And
Oh, the ink. I was going to ask you about the ink practice. What is your ink
yeah,
practice? Can you tell me about that?
I don't know that I would call it a practice, but I do like to play with ink because I find it creative outlet.
But she's not an
And
artist, y'all.
I think it's fun to mix colors. I like to have color palettes. This is silly, but look, I put two leaves on the paper and then I sprinkled ink on the top and then I journaled on it. So they're just little things like that I do in my journal. I want to do more of that. I want to do more of that. So that's something that I'm pushing myself to do because sometimes I'm just writing, 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 and then I don't do. Like the other night in meditation, I was drawing like the sun and the moon, and then Victor was talking about the truth spirals. So I added the truth spirals into the moon here on the side.
I love that.
Um,
Love that. Yes.
so just
Yes.
little things. I a lot of this is it goes back, I wouldn't call it a pen practice or an ink practice. It goes back to the mindfulness practice, that the act of being present in the moment and just enjoying what you're doing at that time. And sometimes I start writing and I just go crazy writing, 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 but like there should be time to doodle, like I should have time to doodle in my notebooks. Like here I drew a wand. I have done art in my journal inspired by readings that other people have given me. Um, let's see. It's like, when you're looking for it and you can't find it, but you know it's there.
Always the way.
Yeah, like I don't know, I just like to
Oh,
draw
what's that?
different things.
I love it.
Yeah. So like
But you
this is
don't call
not,
that art.
I
Because I
don't
call
because I
that
just feel
art.
like it's so like, I don't know, like a kindergartner could probably do better.
Oh, please, please.
Ah, the other journals I have put away. I had some art that I did that was inspired by Laura's readings, but I don't have them here handy. So anyways, it's a mindfulness practice, I call it. It's a mindfulness practice because it invites you to like slow down. Even sometimes my stream of consciousness is going so fast that my pen cannot keep up with what I'm writing down. And I have to like remind myself to stop, pause, take a deep breath,
Right.
and then, because
So
if
you
not,
do
I'm
it.
just
You
powering
always do it
through.
longhand? Like, do you always do it your journaling longhand, or do
Mm,
you
yeah,
ever? Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't keep a lot of online journals. I like the tactile experience, the notebook, the paper, the pens, the inks, the colors. Like here I probably use like I don't know, like tons of different colors. So I just like that. I just
That,
like it.
thank you so much for sharing that. That's
Mhm.
wonderful. This is exactly the sort of thing I wanted to get to know.
Oh,
All
good.
right. So I think I've got most. How do you balance work life and family life with your tarot practice? I mean, you kind of talked about that already.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, and like
Is it a
anybody
struggle?
else, it is. It can be, right? It can be, but that it goes back to like remembering to come back into the moment, which, you know, none of us are perfect at it. Like all of us need reminders to do these things because we do have the tendency to rush through all the things and accomplish all the things that we need to get done for the day so that we could lay down at the end of the night and feel like, okay, I put a chip, I put a dent in it.
Look, okay. I did hear what you said. It's just, I've got to geek out a little bit. Okay. Last but not least, what advice do you have for me as someone new to this whole YouTube thing, I mean, I'm not new to card reading, but I'm new to tarot.
Hmm.
And I'm starting, I don't know what I want it to look like for yet, like in terms of how much I want to incorporate tarot, how much I want to incorporate my other card reading. But
Hmm.
um, I want to present it somehow. And you figured out a way. What do you suggest for beginners like myself?
I think in the beginning you have to explore and experiment with different things and see what feels good and what works and what doesn't work. Because what feels like you might see something on somebody else's channel and you're like, yeah, I like that, but it doesn't feel natural to you. So then you have to find what works for you. And a big part of that is going through the process of um, trying different things and seeing what feels right and what fits and what doesn't fit. And, you know, it's like the temperance card. There's a lot of like
The
trial and
mixing,
error.
you gotta
Yeah, there's a lot you gotta
get that
find
right
until
fit.
you get your secret sauce, right? Your secret sauce, and then you're like, this works for me. But you don't know that unless you try. Uh, you know. And in
Unless
the
you try.
beginning, I did a lot of that, like a lot of different experimentations, like reading by myself, reading with other people, doing art, doing silent videos, doing reels or shorts. I mean, doing pre-recorded, doing so you practice different things, different themes. There were certain topics that I explored that I enjoyed but didn't seem to have a lot of interest out there on, in YouTube world. So I decided to maybe let those go and try other things. And I just tried different concepts until I found, what works for me. And I think I still like continue to do the things that feel good. And when they no longer feel good, I'm going to switch it up.
Switch it up. That's what it comes down to. Yeah, and I'm good at switching it up. I'll give
Hmm.
myself that, but I'll keep at it. And I just wanted to call out Clint thinks your nails are always on fleek, and I agree.
Thank
Do they
you.
still say fleek
That's a
though? Do
good
the
look.
kids still say? I don't think they say that. That I love that. What's going on there? See, that's art
I
right
did.
there.
These are I guess like sigils of protection is what I
Ah,
felt like I needed, so that's what I did. I added the evil eye amulet onto my fingernails.
I perfection. Perfection. Do you have any words for me, questions for me,
Yes.
advice for me? Okay.
My advice is this, like, no channel is perfect, and we all try different things, and we have some sessions where you're like, that was amazing, and then other sessions where you're like, oh God, can I just delete that? So, don't be afraid to try different things, to explore and put yourself out there, because I feel like that is where we find the growth, is by trying different things. I never wanted to be a reader of others. And if it wasn't because someone pushed me into trying it, I would never have, done it.
Okay. So what Elizabeth is saying is that she's tired of my old videos and my same old, and that I need to
No,
get
I
out
don't think
more.
so. No, I don't think so. But I do sometimes feel that you're hesitant to try different things, or you're hesitant about how it would be taken, or you worry about taking up people's time or energy. But we're all here because we want to be here. Like the people that are in the chat, they're here because they're nobody's forcing them. Like they're here because they, genuinely like enjoy the chat environment. They enjoy listening to you. They enjoy your stories, your style, your presence, your jokes. Like that's why. So that's why they come back.
Mhm.
So don't forget that, because
Okay.
you're awesome and you bring something to the table, and people want to. That's the whole point of this experience. You may not be everybody's cup of tea. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but I have slowly found my tribe, and that's all I can ask for.
Trista says, actually, someone broke in and it is forcing me to be here. Because I saw to it, Trista. She can be iffy, that one. So thank you. That was so sweet. That was so sweet. And I hear you. I receive it. I will
Yeah.
process it. And I can't thank you enough for taking this time with me. I I even though it started off like I'm so sorry for how it started off. But
There, see, like right there, that was just the stop.
okay,
Stop.
okay.
It's all good. It was a disconnect, but we made it work. And if we couldn't go now, we would have gone later. And either way, it would have been fine. So
It would have been
it's all
fine.
good. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I was just
This
worried,
was
like, oh
wonderful.
shoot, she's working. She's not gonna be able to do it.
Oh, no, I like took like I really thought I was like, I just knew it was 3 o'clock my time. And I was like, and I even advertised it 6 o'clock. I was like, okay,
You
whatever.
did?
I did. I did. I told everybody the wrong time. So
Oh no.
people,
And then
so,
and the live, so I went live early because I was like, oh, I want to
and I
like do
saw
the
that. I was
live.
like,
And
oh,
then I was like, I have to hurry and get off because I'm going live with Eunartha and I got to get ready for Eunartha. I
oh,
kept saying over and over again.
oh my God. And I had so many opportunities to figure that out. I'm not going to, it is what it is. It was what it was.
Yeah,
I think it worked out great, and, thank you
I
so
think so
much.
too. Yeah, this was fun. I know originally you wanted to pre-record, but I think this is great.
I think this was it happened exactly like it needed to. So,
Hmm.
thank you,
Yeah.
everybody. I'm sorry if I ignored questions from people, but I just I'm sorry.
Yes. And
She
thank
had
you for
all my
everybody to
focus.
tuning in. Everybody that tuned in. Thank you. Maybe we could just say a real quick hi and a heartfelt thank you. I see like Clint
Yes.
and Debs and Trista is here. Lucia, Millie was here. Let's see. Is that as far as my chat goes?
I think
Inconceivable.
so. That is, it seems Christine, yeah, it was Christine was here, Trina. Everybody's here. Debs, Angela. Thank you all.
Mhm.
Thank you all for stopping by and supporting this.
That's a lot of love. See?
Thank
Look
you.
at
Thank you.
Stacy. Look,
And
Stacy
Stacy's
just came.
here.
Stacy's here.
And let me make Stacy, like, there's no reason Stacy needs to be
Yep. My
not
chat is
blue.
frozen, so now I can't do anything at all, but I rely on you. Angela was here,
Yep.
and Christine was here. There was a lot of people. I think you said Trina already,
Hmm.
and
Yes,
yeah,
thank
it
you
was
all from the bottom of
fun.
my heart. And
Mhm.
yes, I got, yep, this is wonderful. This is wonderful, especially last minute. Okay, you have honored me. You are my first, for this series, you have been my first guest, and I think I couldn't have asked for a better first guest. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you for the invitation.
All
I'm
right.
sorry that it took so long because I know we talked about doing this like a couple months ago.
Well, I wasn't ready a couple of months ago. I wasn't even ready today, I, but we did it, baby. We did it.
That's
Okay.
hilarious. Awesome.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you, everyone.
I'm such a dork. Goodbye.